Hello and welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Saturday Morning Blast Off. Welcome, everybody. Before I get to everything, let me take care of some business and then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end of this. And basically what YouTube does, take the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos is my vast video library just for you, and it pops it up there. And so if you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button down there. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, where I've got the schedule up for the entire week. Also, I've got all the links to my social media, so Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. No tiers set in the Patreon because I'm waiting until I hit 1,000 subs. So close, but we're there. And also I have the links to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. And by the way, that's where I put all the news too during the week. Kind of aggregate it there, is all on Facebook for those of you who still have it. All right. So let's get to it, shall we? HBO Max has greenlit a Green Lantern series. Finally, it's a live-action Green Lantern series. It's supposed to be 10 one-hour episodes, and it's supposed to showcase different Green Lanterns throughout the Green Lantern Corps. Not just Hal Jordan, not just John Stewart or Guy Gardner or anything like that, although most likely they're all going to be in this. But yeah, it's going to be like we're going to see Kilowog in there. We're going to see Sinestro, things like that. And I couldn't be happier, to tell you the truth, especially if they have HBO Max money going through that behind it, because that is what they need to do. Go easy with the puns. What puns was that? Did I say? Did I do a pun? I don't remember if I did one, but anyway, yeah, looking forward to this greatly. No, that's the term. It's greenlit. It's not a pun. It means it's been greenlit. I mean, there's no other way around it, or I can't, that's the Hollywood lingo, is greenlit. When something's been approved to go to production, is greenlit. So, yeah. I didn't even realize, I didn't even think about that, but I guess it could be considered a pun if you really want to, but yeah, it's not. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. If it's as good as Doom Patrol, these guys here, which of course was DC Universe. So, who knows? With HBO Max, it is HBO money now, so it is more money towards them. So they could actually do special effects and things like that and not have to skimp on it like the CW does. Yeah. Yeah. You're rather met about it. Well, I'm not going to say anything about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but oh, wait, I just did. December 16th, season 5 of The Expanse gets released on Amazon Prime. That's right, they just announced it. So yes, they just announced it, and they also released a trailer for it too. So no word yet on whether or not that if they're dropping it all at once, or if they're going to do like The Boys. I think they're going to do what the Boys did, where they're going to actually do it week by week, because with what happened with The Boys actually outdid Netflix for once, and in the ratings, and that has to all do with them releasing it one episode a week and building up that anticipation and getting people to watch it. I think that's what they're going to do with this too. So, yeah. Last season, Joker, I haven't heard anything about this being the last season. You know, I don't think Amazon's going to end it, because it is, usually they don't end these things until after 3 seasons is what Amazon does, and Amazon's only had it for one. They did season 4. Now they're doing season 5, and if they do anything, season 6 will probably be the last thing they did. Yeah. Excuse me. They said it'll be weekly? Okay, great, Philip. Great. Perfect. Because then guess what? I can actually cover it instead of doing 2 episodes and just breaking the season in half. I can do episode by episode now, thankfully. Yeah, I haven't been watching anything of New York Comic Con. So New York City Comic Con is doing the virtual stuff right now, and I've been so busy work wise that I haven't even looked at it. And yeah, yeah, haven't looked at it at all. Joker says Amos is doing the churn. Looks like from the trailer. I still have time to finish it. Okay, I haven't read any of the books, so I don't know. I uh, this one is one of those shows I feel that people that have read the books, and I'm going to say something a little controversial here. Uh, People that have read the books are actually ruining the series. Just because their expectations of what's going on in the books is not what's going to happen in the series necessarily, and so they become a rabid fan base and start peppering James S. A. Corey, those two guys, uh, for why aren't we seeing this in the show? Why aren't we seeing that in the show? And it becomes kind of fucking annoying after a little while. I follow them on Twitter, so I've seen it, and I see they get pissed off, a little bit. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say controversial about this is the fans are a little bit on the rabid side, especially the ones that have read the books and are expecting something else. Yeah. They are writing the last book, Stanley, from what I understand. Isn't the last book like book 9 or something like that? Or I heard recently that they're writing the last book in this whole series. I thought I actually put it on SBO at one point, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. It does happen from time to time. So, Belinda, hey. Belinda says Expanse drops first 3 episodes on the 16th and weekly after that. Nice. And they're writing season 6 right now. See, I knew somebody would have it, and I knew Belinda was our resident Expanse person. Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not like an Uber fan. Yeah. There's just so much shit for me to cover. I can't be an Uber fan of things anymore. So it just doesn't work out for me that way. Let's see what else we got here. So, Benedict Cumberbatch has joined the cast of Spider-Man 3 as Doctor Strange. What does that mean? Well, since we're getting all this news right now, last week I said that Jamie Foxx had signed on as Electro. He's reprising his role as Electro in Spider-Man 3 as well. There's rumors that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are coming back as Spider-Man for Spider-Man 3. There's rumors that there's a Miles Morales that is in Spider-Man 3. So of course we're getting the multiverse at this point. And if we're bringing in Doctor Strange, which we already know that Doctor Strange 2 is subtitled, the multiverse of madness or something like that. We know the multiverse is involved, and we're going to have a whole bunch of different multiple Spider-Men and stuff like that. Everyone's been saying that this is going to be a live action Into the Spider-Verse kind of thing, and I'm all for it, quite honestly. It looks like it's going to be a good time. It looks like it's going to be fun, which is what I want out of my movies. I just want some fucking fun when I'm watching these things. Maybe think sometimes, but that's different movies. I go to different movies for that kind of stuff. Excuse me. I irrigated my sinuses and everything. More than you wanted to know, but still. And still I'm a little bit, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Spider-Man 3 should be fucking good. So here's a little disappointing news. The Dune reboot that was supposed to be opening up, December, has now been, or actually October, it's supposed to be opening in October, has been delayed an entire year to October 1st, 2021. Uh, well, this gives them more time to actually, I guess, tighten up special effects. Uh, I don't know, whittle down the movie from 4 hours to maybe 3.5 hours, something like that. And again, this is all because of COVID, what's happening. Um, and I think kind of what set this all off too is we had No Time to Die. The James Bond movie has moved again to next year, to Easter of next year, which also set off Regal Cinemas saying that, and they just announced this week as well. They are closing all their US and UK cinemas until next year because there's just no big movies that are coming out, no big movies that are being released. Really, they all keep moving to 2021, and they, as a cost cutting measure, of course, they're closing their doors and just waiting it out like everyone else. Yeah. Maybe there are no theaters at that point. I don't think so, Stanley. I mean, AMC is hanging on by fingernails, and they always have been. And quite honestly, to see them go isn't that big of a loss. AMC is a really shitty theater. I don't think I've stepped foot in one in the last 5 years, just because of how shitty they actually are. And I've been going to either let's see, Regal Cinemas. I've been going to ArcLight, which is around here too. It's a smaller chain. I'm trying to think. There's a kind of like a rundown theater that's over by me that's actually still nicer than AMC, believe it or not. And I think they're owned by Regal as well. Reading also has their stuff that's out there. Um, and there's theater chains that are out there. It's just AMC happens to be the biggest, and Regal is the second largest. So everyone keeps saying, "Oh my God, they're going under," and there goes the end of theaters. No, actually, there's quite a bit of theaters that are left. I mean, what is it? Regal Cinemas only makes up in the US, I think, what did they say, 700 theaters, and there's over 5,000 theaters in the US easily. I think there's more than that. I think there's more than 6,000, but I want to say it's like a little over 5,000, something like that. I don't know exactly, but and so not all of them are owned by AMC and Regal. If Regal only owns 700, 800, somewhere around there, and AMC owns, like, say, 1,500, 2,000 of them, that still leaves quite a bit left there. No, Netflix did not buy. They tried buying, I think, Ken Cinemas is what they were going to buy at one point, which there's a Ken Cinemas in San Diego over here. And they stopped for some reason. I don't know why. I think they just decided to put the money back into their movies, which is showing at this point. Yeah. Someone made a disparaging comment. I can't remember who it was, fairly recently. I think it was last week, in the news, saying that Netflix movies aren't real movies. And it's like, I don't know. Did you take a look at some of the shit they've been putting out lately? Because they look like real movies to me. Extraction, what was the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Jamie Foxx that just came out with the superpowers one? That one was definitely a big screen movie. They've been putting out some stuff that rivals big screen movies. So I don't know what they're talking about in that respect. Disney, speaking of movies and movie theaters and all that stuff, so Disney and Pixar's Soul, which is supposed to come out, is now skipping theaters entirely, and it's going directly to Disney Plus on Christmas Day, December 25th. And you won't have to pay the extra $30 markup or something like that they had going on with Mulan, which I'm just waiting until it comes out for free, or comes out, where I don't have to pay the extra $30 in December. Which is the same thing is going on here with Soul. They just decided that screw it, we're just going to release it on Disney Plus, and we're going to eat the costs. So, yes, Enola Holmes was a Netflix movie. Uh, and that was okay. I mean, I didn't really enjoy it all that much. I didn't, disparage it all that much. I just thought it was kind of there. Um, I realized that Billy Bobby Brown, is that her name? Yeah. Is not the greatest actress in the world. She was really, really bad in that one in Enola Holmes. She was trying to do the whole breaking the fourth wall thing, and it just came off really, yeah. I mean, and then Henry Cavill, his character, playing Holmes. It seemed like he was kind of sleepwalking it through it for the paycheck. Yes, it is a movie for young adults. I agree with you, Stanley. But it just because you make a movie for young adults doesn't mean you need to dumb it down or make it stupid or horrible or bad production or anything like that. You can still make really good young adult movies. People have been doing it for decades. So yeah, I kind of don't buy that whole, oh well, it's supposed to be for kids. That's why it sucks so bad. No, you can make good quality children's programming, you can make good quality young adult programming, and you can make good quality adult programming without having to sacrifice quality or acting or writing or anything like that. And you can still do it with a budget. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's a standard excuse, but it's for kids. So it's supposed to be suck. Yeah, no, it doesn't. I just saw this morning, and I didn't know that this was actually being released. So, The Watch, which is based on Terry Pratchett's Discworld series, is going to hit BBC America in January 2021, and they released a trailer for it. Okay, I saw it. I still don't understand what the fuck I watched on it, to tell you the truth. It seemed like just another Doctor Who episode where there was just a whole bunch of random shit thrown at the screen, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. It's not making me really want to watch it, but there was some punk music in it, and I was like, oh, all right, or pseudo punk music, I guess you could say, and I was like, all right, looks interesting, I guess, if I knew what it was about, but nothing's, cast out the line there. You need to have a little bait on the end of it to drag me in. Yeah. Apple Crow says, I have a friend who's a huge Pratchett fan, and he hated that trailer because apparently they changed up half the characters. Again, like I say, uh, you need to subvert expectations. If you're a fan of a series, uh, it's not going to translate over 9 times out of 10 to film or TV. It just doesn't. Yeah. Richard Dormer. I thought it was Richard Donner that was producing that one. But maybe I read it too fast or something. I was hoping that it was Richard Donner, but he's kind of old. Yeah. Stanley Twill says I'm one of those toxic book readers. I know. Oh, he's in the series, Richard Dormer. Okay, got it. Yeah, I've never read the Discworld series. See, for me, Pratchett was always one of those writers that had tons of fucking books up in the sci-fi section at the bookstore. Yes, when there was bookstores and they used to peruse the sci-fi sections, and I can never find good writers. I can only find these writers that wrote shit tons of series that just kind of pumped them out, where they took over, 3/4 of the shelves, and I couldn't find people like, um, now of course I'm blanking on it. Matheson, Harry Harrison, classic sci-fi writers, things like that that had done some really good work and were no longer in print or anything like that. So yeah. But you can find a shit ton of, uh, a vampire series or whatever up there. Yes, I know they sell, and that's the reason why they had them up on the shelves, but still. It's a reason why bookstores had met their demise, quite honestly. So here's some bad news. Glow is not getting the fourth and final season. It was promised by Netflix, and instead it's been canceled outright. Yeah, Netflix basically said, you know what, we're going to take that money away from you that we wanted to, that you were going to use for that season 4, and we're going to use it for something else. So this is the first kind of sign, I think, that Netflix is having some problems money wise. Is when you're taking away money from a show that you are know it's on its last season, and yeah, it's tightening of the belt, and kind of worrisome just a little bit. Yeah. If Netflix stops throwing so much fucking money at those cooking channel shows that they've been doing, they or cooking channel series, I guess you could say, where they're having people travel around the fucking world, I think they would have enough money. But they're doing stuff like, what was it I was just watching that I literally stopped because it was nothing about food. It was called Ugly Delicious, and it's a guy who's an LA chef who I've seen before on like John Favreau's channels and stuff like that, his chef stuff. And he's basically just talking about his family, about having a kid and how tough it is to have kids and be a chef. And I was like, I don't give a shit. Is this about food? It's not. Guess what? I'm gonna pass it up because I really just don't give a shit. It's, if you choose a profession, yes, it's gonna be hard no matter what. It's part of the thing of called life. I don't need to see a series on it. So, but going back to Glow, yes. I did love Glow. You haven't seen season 3 yet? It turns out that Mark Maron is her father, by the way, the character. Uh, oh, was I not supposed to say that? She finds this out after they have sex, by the way. So there you go. No, I didn't give anything away. It's been out for over a year. If you haven't seen it now, that's right, Philip. Mark is all their fathers. I forgot about that. He is. That's why he put them all together in that show. Stanley Twill says they are not interested in long running shows. New shows create new thumbnails. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of crap on Netflix, quite honestly. A lot of crap. I was sitting there kind of looking through to see if I could watch anything, and there was nothing. If you have Amazon, like an Amazon Fire Stick or an Amazon TV Cube, like I do, and all that kind of stuff, Roku channel, the Roku channel, which I guess has thousands of movies and TV shows on it, is now available on Amazon. And excuse me, on the Amazon Fire Stick and Amazon Cube and stuff like that. I've been watching Batman 1966. That whole series is on Roku channel because I downloaded it. I was watching it and I was like, fuck yeah, this is actually kind of cool. So I have that on in the background. And it's funny watching the first season, like the first couple episodes, and they had a lot of stuff dialed in that that we know about and all that stuff as kind of ingrained in society now or pop culture. But there was other stuff that they didn't have dialed in, and it's kind of neat watching that. Yeah. Joker says I've been watching Spanish dystopia show, the Barrier Weekly show on Netflix. It's decent, huh? Okay. Yeah, I agree with you, Stanley. There's less and less on Netflix, and it's kind of making me wonder if I should stay on there or not. Yes, Celebro. I saw that they dropped the first season of CBS's Evil. I haven't checked it out. I I knew of the show, and I remember laughing about it because they're going, well, they have one skeptic FBI agent, and they have one that wants to believe in everything. And I'm like, you mean kind of like the X Files, only with the supernatural? I get it now, and that's why I never bothered with it. It just it seemed too derivative of stuff that we've already seen, and I was like, and it was on CBS as well, so that was just kind of like the kicker. I was actually kind of surprised that dropped there on Netflix instead of going behind the paywall of CBS All Access. Yeah. Oh God, and from the creators of The Good Wife, that's the trifecta for me right there. I will not watch it then. I'm sorry, I am biased on that, but so way back when on another podcast channel that I was on, we were trying an experiment where we were gonna watch like different shows and shit like that, and we had one guy who fucking just kept pushing The Good Wife. Pushing, 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 pushing. He also pushed the big, Big Brother series and all that stuff too. And good fucking lord, that is the most horrible fucking show I've ever seen in my life. Even worse than The Passage. Yes, on Fox. It's that much. It's that worse. It's even worse, I'm gonna say, than the Inhumans. I would actually sit through the entire season of the Inhumans rather than watch any of the episodes of The Good Wife. Next is an AI show. Yes, it is. It's the one where supposedly the AI only jumps from one computer to the next instead of infecting all the world's computers all at once. Uh, so I don't understand how that comes about. I'm sure there's a MacGuffin in there someplace, but it's on Fox. So yeah, yeah. Yes, the Inhumans is the bottom rung of television that we all set the bar to. Is it as bad as the Inhumans? Hmm, I don't know. But The Good Wife is, it's worse. Yeah. I literally got through 30 seconds of The Good Wife and I turned it off. That's how bad it was. Yeah. The only good thing about The Inhumans is that it's 8 episodes. Well, it could be worse. They could have gotten 7 seasons. Um, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I talked about that. Oh yeah, this one's good. So Resident Evil is being rebooted as another movie, but this time they have a fucking impressive cast list going on here. Let me read off some of the names that we've got here. So we've got let me see here. So Maze Runner Kaya Scodelario. She's gonna be playing Claire Redfield. Alongside Hannah John Kamen, who's from Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's the one who played the ghost. She's going to be playing Jill Valentine. Robbie Amell, you know who Robbie Amell is, of course, from Upload and other stuff too. He's going to be playing Chris Redfield. Tom Hopper, of course, from the Umbrella Academy, Space Guy, Space Boy. He is Albert Wesker, which is going to be interesting casting. Um, Avian Joga from Zombieland Double Tap. You can, be forgiven if you don't know who he is because he was in there and he was gone pretty quickly. As Leon S. Kennedy, and of course Neil Madonna, who of course was in Agents of Shield. He was Dum Dum Dugan in the Captain America series and all that stuff, Marvel, all that kind of stuff. He is playing William Birkin. So yeah, like I said, fucking really good cast going on there. I don't know how they did that, but yeah, that is going to be. I guess they're going to do before everything happened, not just jumping straight into the action there. But I'll take a look at it. I actually like the first movie. The first movie is a good zombie movie. It's a solid zombie movie, and then it just gets kind of fucking whacked out from there. When you go further into the episodes or the installments, I guess you can say. And I play the video games. Honestly, I'm kind of glad they moved away from the video games for the movies. It's one of those things that you kind of need to do sometimes when you can't do. I'm sorry, it's really hard to do a video game movie and stay close to the video game story, I guess you could say, without it being a video game. You just can't. You need to make it its own thing. Otherwise, you get a shitty movie if you try and just hew to the video game and the video game fans. Again, yeah. Um, the previous films are pretty far. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about, Stanley. Yeah. Let's hope for so it's not the Eternals anymore, Stanley. It's called Eternals. That's all. They dropped the. It's just called Eternals. Marvel's Internals, Eternals, internals, externals. Uh, yes, they're going to be far from the Inhumans. I'm fairly sure, and I'm fairly sure they're going to be introducing. They're going to be using the Eternals in order to most likely introduce some new bad guys to the Marvel universe, which is good. They need it. Especially if they're going to do cosmic stuff. And from what I understand, Marvel is supposed to be splitting it up into there's going to be a cosmic universe and there's going to be a Earth centric, universe of movies. So you have, cosmic Marvel movies and you have Earth centric Marvel movies, which is what you need, because that's what they have in the comics too. You have stuff that happens out in space, and then you have stuff that happens on Earth. And that's perfectly fine. You can do that. And even on Earth, you have stuff that is global and you have stuff that is, neighborhood centric, like New York City or Hell's Kitchen and Daredevil, that kind of stuff. Again, perfectly fine to do that. And I know Kevin Feige knows what he's doing there because he's a Marvel fanboy. This one was actually kind of interesting. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know that they were going to release a trailer. So they released a trailer for Invincible. This is Robert Kirkman's Invincible that he did over at Image Comics. And it's now an animated series that's going to drop on Amazon Prime in 2021. It looks pretty damn good. And J.K. Simmons is voicing Omni-Man, his dad. So that looks like it's going to be a fuckload of fun. It really does. And I'm looking forward to that one. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to go back in and actually edit out the description of this and put in the links. I'm sorry, it was just too much work, and I'm lazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it is just a shit ton of work. If you want to see where it's at, you can go over to Facebook, my Facebook page, and it's listed there. So yeah, go take a look over on Facebook and you'll see my page there for Suspended Animation, and I have the link up there. Yeah. And yes, it is everywhere on Facebook as well. So it's everywhere for the most part. You can also do a search for Invincible trailer on YouTube and you'll find it. What I don't like now on looking up trailers on YouTube is that and I don't know how people don't get copyright strikes on this, is a lot of channels take it and then they brand it underneath their own channel and they put all their branding on it too, and I'm like, well, isn't that a copyright infringement? Isn't that a copyright strike? Because you are using a company's trailer to promote your own shit. So I don't know, I'm not going to do it, so because most likely I'll end up getting a copyright strike. I've got copyright strikes for really stupid shit. Or not copyright strikes, but a takedown on. Anyway, neither here nor there. So Warner Brothers has shifted quite a few of their films to later on. Well, of course, they've moved everything, and nothing's coming out this year. So the Batman has moved from 2021 to 2022. The Matrix has moved up from 2022 to 2021. The Flash has just moved later to 2022 because no one really gives a shit about that. Shazam 2 has moved over to 2023 now from 2022. And Black Adam has been removed from their list completely at the moment. which leaves it in limbo as to are they actually going to make it or are they just not doing it anymore? We don't know. And again, this comes about from all this uncertainty of like what's going to happen with COVID. Are we going to get a vaccine? Are we going to just wait shit out? Um, so, on a side note, I was actually just doing a little. I actually fell down a rabbit hole, I should say, on the internet. I started looking at the Spanish flu, of 1919, actually 1918 and 1920 is where it went to, and I was seeing how it started, and I was actually just seeing if there's a vaccine for the Spanish flu, if there ever was one, and there wasn't. There was never a vaccine developed. They tried to develop a vaccine for the Spanish flu, but it just kind of it ravaged the entire world for like 2 years, and there was multiple spikes of this thing happening. There was like 3 spikes off of this thing, and some scary shit. And it traveled about mainly because of World War I, and you had a lot of troop movements happening across countries, across oceans, things like that. And so, of course, it allowed the virus to travel with these people and just create havoc. And I was thinking, I was reading some of the descriptions of the symptoms because I guess President Woodrow Wilson had it as well during the Treaty of Versailles signing, and actually passed out during the signing. And so it was always rumored that he had it, but it wasn't ever confirmed. And his later, some notes from his personal physician popped up about 2 years ago, confirming that yes, he did have the Spanish flu, and no one was supposed to know about this because it was such a sensitive time, and Europe was hanging in the balance, all that kind of stuff. As they said, it was hanging in the balance because the Bolsheviks could come and take it over. There you go. Um, but anyway, I was like, well, maybe because all of the symptoms, all the reports of how the Spanish flu, what people were experiencing when they had it, and then the aftermath of it, sounds a lot of like what we're going through right now with COVID-19. And I was just kind of thinking that maybe it's a mutation of that. Maybe it's been out there for a while, just kind of it moves around. Viruses do this, and it mutated and has found a way, a vector of just exploding again. Um, I don't know. It was an interesting avenue that I started going down, and I kind of shiny object, and I went someplace else. So there you go. But anyway, yeah, we're not looking at vaccines anytime soon. Just to say that, yeah. Don't tell me Avatar 2 will be delayed. Everyone is looking forward to this. I don't think so. I know Spanish flu is not coronavirus, Stanley, but I was wondering if maybe there might be some offshoots to it. There could be some components to it that uh, would work for a vaccine. I don't know. I'm not a virologist, nor do I play one on TV, nor do I pretend to be one. I just figured that would be kind of an interesting avenue if someone has not already looked into it. I don't think it's H1N1 either. It is a SARS virus. Coronavirus, COVID-19 is a SARS virus, but yeah, it's not H1N1. But I don't know what the Spanish flu was. If it was a SARS or not. But just kind of an interesting aside. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, back to news. That's enough of your science lesson for the day. Um, oh yeah, here's a warning. November 17th, the New Mutants movie hits DVD and digital release. So if you too want to see how bad that movie actually was, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. You can actually take a look at that and pay that money and see for yourself. Yeah. They will finish Avatar 2, and aren't they doing 2 through 45? Avatar 2 through 45? I thought that's what they were doing. I thought that was James Cameron's plans. Um, yeah, no one wants to see it. I mean, speaking of a movie that no one really wanted to, that there wasn't any clamor for, was Avatar 2. I mean, let's get real. It wasn't good. It has not held up well. Go and watch it. See what you think. It's a bad movie. Ferngully, The Last Rainforest, set in another world. I mean, again, I'm going to say this: when your writer is so lazy to call an element unobtainium, that's when you know you have a problem with your script. Unobtainium. It's almost up there with Cameronium. Um, December 11th, Ryan Reynolds has a new movie that's going to be coming up called Free Guy. And we got the trailer release for that one. That actually looks like fun. So Ryan Reynolds is supposed to be in a video game. He is one of those NPCs, the non-player characters. It's in the background. And he comes to a realization that he's in a video game and tries to change things. So think of it as Wreck-It Ralph, only without a main video game character waking up to the fact that they are in a video game, and then of course wreaking havoc within their own video game system. Yeah. I I wouldn't say that, Philip. Just because it has mechs in it doesn't mean it's good. Yeah. It just means it has mechs in it, that they had enough, so he had mechs in Aliens too. He just kind of repurposed them in Avatar. That's all it was. He bit from himself. All right. So this one I really fucking have no idea what to say about this. Um, except that New Line Cinemas has decided to go ahead with a movie called Super High, starring Craig Robertson, Andy Samberg, and Common. You know, the rapper Common, who's now an actor. And the whole premise of Super High is that there's a particular uh some pot out there that when you smoke it, it's a special weed that gives you superpowers. That's the whole premise of the movie right there. Okay. I I don't know how you're going to do an entire, well, yes, you can do an entire stoner movie like that, but I think we've come now full circle on the bad ideas. Did Kevin Smith write it? I don't think he did, but you know what? Let me actually take a look and see who actually wrote this piece of shit. I mean, this thing. Da, 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 da. Uh, and it says, uh, well, Sandberg, Robertson, and Common are all producing it, which it gives you any indication there. Um, Adam Mansbach will write the screenplay based on a story by Mansbach and Shatner Anderson and whoever those guys are. So there you go. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that one. Seth Rogen has nothing to do with this, which I was kind of surprised. You would think this would be up Seth Rogen's alley, but even he said, no, that's too fucking ridiculous. I'm not going to do it. You know, when Seth Rogen says no to doing a pop movie, that it's probably a bad idea. So, yeah. What were the writers when they wrote it? Super High. Exactly. Exactly. They were. I agree with you. So, for those of you fans out there of the comic book Lumberjanes, the Lumberjanes, there's going to be an HBO Max series coming. I don't know if it's animated or if it's going to be live action. I believe it's going to be animated, but I know they're going to do a special as well. So they're going to do kind of a special and then a series for it. And it's coming to HBO Max, of course. I have heard about it. I've, know that it's won awards and things like that. I have never read it. Again, it came out after I was out of comics at that point. So I haven't really read anything. And like I said, I've heard a lot of good things about it. So there you go. It's going to be a series at HBO Max. For those of you fans of that out there. Also, for fans of the first Addams Family animated movie, and I know Viking Bitch was one of those fans out there, Addams Family 2 is going to hit theaters on Halloween 2021. So this is all, you know, this was just announced at New York City Comic Con as well. So that's why it's out there. Sounds like I'm not in the demo for this. You're talking about the Super High, or are you talking about the Lumberjanes? So Lumberjanes is more of a well, here I'll tell you what Lumberjanes, because even I'm not too familiar with it, so it's not something that blah 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 blah. So the person who's working on it is Stevenson, who is I'm trying to find her name there. Basically, she's the one that worked on Netflix's She-Ra and the Princess of Power, the new one that just came out recently. And this is all part of. It was part of the announcement at um, the panel for LGBTQ in children's media. So that's what that was all about. So it says Lumberjanes follows Joe, April, Molly, Mal, and Ripley, a group of Lumberjane scouts attuning Miss Quinzella Thisquin Pensaquel Thistle Crumpets Camp for Hardcore Lady Types. There you go. That's about as much of a synopsis as we get. Yeah. Yes, I saw the American Gods 3 trailer was released. Philip, I guess it was released this morning. And I didn't put it up there as stuff because honestly, I'm just kind of over it at this point. And I think a lot of other people are too, especially after what happened with season 2, and especially with Orlando Jones being dumped here for season 3 because as he was told by the new showrunner that his character is too radical and says too many radical things. So yeah. There we go. And my final thing that I've got here is that Kate Mulgrew is returning to voice Captain Janeway for the Nickelodeon series Star Trek Prodigy. And if you remember, Star Trek Prodigy on Nickelodeon is going to be an animated series about a group of, I guess, feral kids who find a broken down Federation ship and on a planet someplace. They get it running and take off to the stars and learn about, I don't know, Federation stuff. Maybe she's going to be like a hologram or something, and she's going to teach them how to become Federation cadets. I don't know. That's my guess is what's going to happen. Because nothing says, a feral kid's like, rules and regulations. Yeah. Apple Crow says Anansi is a trickster god. It's his fucking job to be radical. Yeah, that's exactly it, Apple Crow. The if you go and take a look up Orlando Jones, what he's been talking about lately, it'll piss you off about what the showrunner has said to him about stuff and why he's no longer with the series. Uh, yeah, it's one of those things that I'm kind of glad I never got invested in it. I tried watching it and it just didn't do anything for me. Uh, so yeah, there you go. It looks like they changed the entire premise in season 3 of American Gods anyway. So there you go. But then again, it's on Stars, isn't it? Yeah. So Stars is trying for a different demographic. They don't want a male demographic anymore. They want a female demographic, uh, which is why Counterpart got canceled because even though it was getting good ratings, I'm going to harp on that until the fucking day I die, most likely. That's just ridiculous to do that to a series. Yeah, I got a series that's actually getting good ratings, bringing in viewers, bringing in subscribers, and you cancel it. because it's not getting female viewers or enough female viewers, I guess you could say. Yeah. Hot Gods chopping wood, possibly. Could be. I don't know. Yeah. So like I said, New York City Comic Con is going on this weekend. It started on Thursday. I'm not watching any of it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of over the virtual conventions now. They're boring. Just release your news like everyone else does. Um, if you want to release a pre-recorded panel, cut it down to like 10 minutes. Give me some of the highlights of what it is, or cut it down to 5 minutes, if you will. I don't want to sit through an hour-long thing. If I was at a convention and I was watching it for an hour, perfect. I'd be right there. But watching it online, I fucking go through Zoom meetings every goddamn day. And the last thing I want to do is sit in front of the computer again and watch another Zoom meeting, essentially, about your TV show. Give me a 5-minute synopsis of what's going on, throw in a trailer, hit out the door. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Get this shit done. Um, Stanley, I the no con crud, no smelly visitors, isn't that better? Um, it's different. Let's just say, I would rather take the the long waits in line and all that shit, and sitting on uncomfortable seats waiting for people to, not being able to see the stage because you're so far back and whatnot, rather than sitting through another pre-recorded Zoom meeting that has no interaction with any of the fans. I mean, you have zero interaction with your fans at this point. All you're doing is pumping out a video that is, pre-recorded, like I said, and it's just boring. It really is. That was the beauty of con, is you never knew what was going to happen. It was unpredictable. And like I said, you always had that one person who came up to the microphone who either was completely uber geek to the point where everyone's like, "Oh my god," because what kind of exasperating question they're going to ask, or what kind of point they're going to belabor, or something like that. It happens every con. We know this. Uh, and then there's also people who ask a good question and get a good response because it wasn't brought up during the panel. Things like that. I don't like the pre-recorded shit because it's basically corporate. You might as well just, do a press release saying, yeah, this is coming out here. Here's a trailer for it. Here's what one of our stars has to say. Uh, yeah, might as well put a sock puppet on and say the same thing. Same shit. Exactly. All approved by VOT. um, it's not that they're scared of nasty questions. They're scared of Zoom bombs, is what they're afraid of, Stanley. So they're afraid of people actually. That's the reason why they're not doing live streamed stuff, is because they're afraid of Zoom bombs and stuff like that, of someone breaking in and taking over, because that will happen most likely. Yeah. Oh yeah, the MODOK news. Thanks, Philip. I was actually going to mention that. So yeah, they did release film footage of the stop motion animation of the Patton Oswalt voiced MODOK series that's going to be on Hulu, and God, does it look terrible. But there you go. It's one of those things that it's MODOK. MODOK has been making I don't know. He's been coming out of a whole bunch of different stuff lately. Um, like I said, I got the tiki mug back here. Um, that was San Diego Comic-Con 2020, the virtual one. That was the only thing I bought, by the way, from that. That was the only thing that was worth buying from Mondo. So, yeah. He's got the series going on, and then there's something else that I think he's in a video game as well. Oh yeah, he's in the Marvel's Avengers video game. Spoiler for those of you who are playing it, he's in that. Yeah, MODOK is in a lot of shit lately. So yeah. Am I looking? Sleeper says, "Are you're looking for that William Shatner moment to get a life?" Not really. I'm just more of the um there yes, there are some moments like that you do have at con. You get that, fuck man, just let it go. No one cares what the combination was to Captain Kirk's safe in episode, 93 uh in season 4 or something like you don't need that. Ask the actors about them or what they're working on or what they enjoyed most, that kind of stuff. Talk to them like human beings, not like fucking products. He looks like a tiki mug. Is that the joke? No, that's actually what he looks like. He's flat. He's got a flat head. That really is kind of what he looks like in the comics. I mean, uh, here, I've got the box within reach. That's why I'm doing this, or kind of within reach if I can get it. Oh, it's almost in my grasp. There we go. So this is the box that it came in, right? And as you can see, this is number 182 of 450. But yes, that is MODOK in all his glory. He has a chair that he sits in, and basically he's a mental organism designed uh oh god, I can't remember, something killing. I can't remember offhand, but that's what MODOK is supposed to stand for. He was built by AIM, and essentially he's in this little rocket chair that he because his legs don't work, his arms don't work really all that well either because they're atrophied because he's just a giant head with a giant brain. He's supposed to be using that mental power, and it became kind of a joke in the comics. Whenever MODOK came about, you're just like, yeah, whatever. They push him aside. And now they're trying to make him more of a viable villain again. Although this Hulu series is not, they're going to make him a joke again. So, yeah. It's a silly character. Yes, it is a very silly character, Stanley. But it is a very cool mug. It's one of those things, if you were into comics, if you're an old school comics person, you know who MODOK is. Most likely you're a fan of MODOK just because of how silly he is. And that's the reason why I got it. It's one I'm a fan of MODOK. I actually had done like a small foam board uh um I guess you could say cutout of MODOK for a store display at one point in time. And it's always been there in the background of Marvel Comics. One of the things I liked. And so when I saw this as one of the exclusives at Comic-Con for this virtual one, I was like, that's what I want. I just want that. There was nothing else out there. Well, there was something else out there, but it sold out within like 3 seconds. So, yeah. Um, Philip Demick says, I just got this on BBC News. Japanese theme park unveils life-size Godzilla attraction. Okay. Maybe they actually captured Godzilla because it is 2020, and we know that he's supposed to be coming soon. I thought this was his month, right? To come out of the water and all that stuff. It was October. So I know that they have a giant Gundam suit in Japan that they've been working on that moves its legs and its arms and all that stuff. And they've been working on that for years. And I think it's just getting ready to finalize its final steps of building its final construction or something like that. Yeah. But who knows? That's all I got for you guys. Yeah. I think that's more than enough. Nothing can make this year anywhere. Don't say that, Stanley. There's always something that can make shit weirder. You know this. I think October is the month that keeps repeating, or is that November? I don't know. We'll find out, or maybe not, because we'll never know. Are the Green Henry show, are the Batman rumors true? Which rumors are that, Green Henry? That it's been pushed back to 2022? I'm also guessing that the reason why it got pushed back to 2022, I think that Pattinson's COVID might be a little bit worse than what we've let on. We haven't heard any updates because we know that they stopped filming because he's the one who tested positive for COVID. Pattinson being sent home for being out of shape. I haven't heard that. I mean, I know he's got COVID, and I'm fairly sure that he's in bad shape. I'm thinking that's the reason why he might be being sent home in order to, you know, recover and recuperate. Applecrow says, "What about a second 2020?" I don't think they know about second 2020. Oh God, no. No. Yeah, but Green Henry, I've never heard anything about that. That's Is that some fringe stuff that's coming about? Because I haven't heard anything about that. But like I said, I wouldn't put it past him being really sick with COVID to the point where that's their decision. Why Warner Brothers decided to move it to 2022 instead of 2021? Because I don't think they were going to be done in time. It's a bad fucking thing, man. I mean, I've known a couple of people that have had it now, so yes, it's some bad shit. And I get tested every 2 weeks in order to make sure I don't get it. I've actually got to schedule my next one for next week here. This upcoming week, I should say. Getting up the nose and everything. Since August, I've been getting tested every 2 weeks. Like clockwork. Lots of fun. Makes your eyes water, makes you cough, all that kind of shit. But anyway, what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow is going to be Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country's awesome. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's on HBO Max. I'll be covering that tomorrow. Monday, I'll be off. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what I'm doing as of yet. I'll figure something out. I just haven't sat down to think about that as of yet. Wednesday, I'm off. Thursday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? Because, got to fill in the gap someplace. Friday will be the contest results for The Boys. Go and take a look at yesterday's The Boys video, which will pop up over here at the end of this video. And you'll see the contest rules and all that stuff. And we'll come back around again to Saturday with Saturday Morning Blast Off. So there you go. Yeah. No, the testing does not protect you, Stanley. You're right. It just tells you whether or not you have tested positive and whether or not you need to, go into sequester yourself away from everyone else until your symptoms subside, or of course you test negative, because there's viral shedding, things like that. I can get into the whole long line of things, but I'm not going to. And yes, they are getting faster at it. My tests, they do PCR analysis on that, and my tests usually get done within around 8 to 12 hours. I mean, they're fairly fucking fairly fucking quick about it. Yeah. And yes, I agree with the Green Henry show. Lovecraft Country gets better and better every week. So, I could review Warrior, Stanley, but it's not genre, and I'm hesitant to do it. I watched episode 2 last night. I could do it, but there's other stuff that's coming out, Stanley. So, yeah, we've got The Mandalorian coming up at the end of the month here. Um, there's other stuff that's coming out, so I'll find it. Yeah, and honestly, I don't think Warrior is gonna have that big of a following. I mean, we like it, yes, but, you know, I really don't think it's gonna have more than as it is, there's some of my shows here that only get, like, 25, 30 views, that kind of stuff, and, you know, they're just there to kind of, fill space, I guess you could say, but, yeah. I wish they would do something with The Crow. Uh, but they were doing something with James O'Barr, who actually created The Crow, and then that kinda got dropped from what I understand. Cobra Kai is not genre either. No, it isn't, Stanley. And that doesn't come out until January, the new season. And it's already, 2 seasons in. I just yeah. If I'm gonna start something, I wanna start something from the beginning and work my way through it, not just jump in the middle of it going, "Hey, bandwagon." Um, you know, but yeah, there you go. So, I know there's excuses for everything, Stanley. That's what my channel's about, right? Now, I know I could do whatever I want on my channel, but, I'm trying to stick to a certain, subject and all that. I just don't wanna go everywhere and anything because then I end up starting to do Kardashian episodes or, someone's gonna want me to do Big Brother series, which fuck no, or The Good Wife. Fuck that shit. Um, yeah, I kinda wanna stick with, genre stuff at the moment. I don't know, maybe sometime down the line, I'll branch out, do some other stuff, just not right now. No garbage would be a good rule. Well, I didn't cover Agents of Shield, so I don't know what you want there. Um, to the Kardashian finale, no. God, no. Yeah, HBO Max is, putting in more content, Green Henry, but are they getting better? I don't know if I would say they're getting better. It's honestly, I'm only there for, like, 1 or 2 shows, that's it. The rest of the stuff, no. I actually had to subscribe to Cinemax because Warrior is not on HBO Max. What the fuck? I'm already paying $15 a month as it is. You think you could actually add Warrior into your series considering you have Max in the title of HBO Max. So there you go. Then I have to pay an extra $10 a month to watch one series. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. I can't, Stanley. I can't let it go. It's that much that just kind of sticks in my craw. That's kind of what I that it lasted 7 fucking seasons, man, and it was eh, and that ABC wanted to cancel it, but Disney was like, "No, we can't do it. You gotta stick with it." Disney's like, "Nope, sorry, you're not allowed to cancel it." And ABC's like, "Come on, we wanna cancel it." And Disney was like, "Nope, nope, you can't cancel it. We wanna keep it on for a little bit longer." I thought that's what HBO Max was supposed to be as well, Green Henry. I thought it was Cinemax and HBO, but it's not. I mean, like, episodes of Banshee, which is Cinemax, are not on HBO Max. You have to go to subscribe to Cinemax in order to get Banshee, and that series is long gone. Yeah. Yes, they are making another Walking Dead show, Philippines. So the main Walking Dead show ends after the next season, I guess it is, and, there's a third so they have Fear the Walking Dead now, and then they're gonna have The Walking Dead: The World Beyond, which takes place 10 years after this series, I guess you could say, and, I think it's already premiered. I wanna say it already premiered. I don't know. So yeah, and then they're supposed to be doing there's been rumors of them doing the Walking Dead show about Daryl and Carol because Norman Reedus and I was kind of surprised. So the woman who plays Carol, and I can't remember her name, wasn't she was acting here and there, but she was really doing production work. She was behind the scenes, behind the camera, if you will. And they kind of said, "Hey, you'd be great for this role." They brought her in, and sure enough, she was really good for it, and kind of sprung from there. So yeah, yeah, exactly. Green Henry. Yeah, you know who lives. It's not a surprise as to who's going to live in this show. At the end of this, we kind of already know that Rick is already still alive because we have a Rick Grimes movie that's coming out. We know that Michonne is still alive because she's in the Rick Grimes movie. We already know that. We know that Carol and Daryl both survive. Maggie most likely still survives because she's back, and most likely Negan's going to survive too. So, the Walking Dead movie, you mean the Rick Grimes one that's coming out? Yeah, it's going to be direct to AMC. AMC's not going to be putting that out in theaters. I'm kind of over The Walking Dead. I stuck it out for as long as I could. I think I was there for 8 years. So 8 of the 10 years, I think I'm good on it. I still need to finish off the comic. As you can see behind me over here, I think I've got all of them except for the last 2 or 3, somewhere around there, volumes. Yeah. And that's just mainly because me, completing out the series. Um, yes, I left, uh no, I stuck around. So after the season that Negan, bashed in their skulls, I stuck around that after that. And then once they took him down, and I think once the Whisperers came in, I was like, out, done. Because I knew that was going to be another prolonged shit show. And I was just like, yeah, I really don't need to see them drag this Whisperer storyline out way too far. Yeah, so I don't order them, Stanley. I go into a local comic book store and buy them because I happen to know the owner. So where am I on? I'm on 27 is what I'm on right there. That's the last one I've got. And I think they have 31, I think is where it's at. Somewhere around there. So at some point in time I'll probably, refill my stock there. Yeah, they're always doing new Watchmen stuff, Green Henry show. Ah, yes, I understand, Stanley Tweedle. Yes. Yeah, if you're in a small town in Germany, yes, you're not going to get an English book unless you order it. I get it. And for good reason. So, because they don't speak English, it's not the main language there. Well, I should say some people speak English, but it's not the main language. So, of course, it's going to not be in English. There you go. Anyway, foot removed from mouth. I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Thank you to everybody joining me today in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. Again, if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button down below there. It's a oh, no, sorry, wrong one. And also while you're down there in the subscribe button, if you can go to like and share as well. Like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about I already said that. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there and all the links to my social media. So, did you hear anything about the watch? No, I haven't, Philip. I just talked about the trailer and how bad it looked. That's all it was. So, yes, it's supposed to be in January on BBC America. I don't know about BBC. There's a rewind button on this thing too. You guys can go back and take a look. It's there. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow for Lovecraft Country. Until then, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up, I don't know, kind of flubbing through your video posts and just making a mess of your exit, because like I'm doing right now. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.